In this video, we'll look into a little more detail on those aspects of Solid Builder that will allow you to create a model. Locate it down below where you see the term model, and then followed by floor plan, elevations, details, and site plan. The model tab has a colored rectangle. That means that it is model space. And if I zoom out, you again can see that terrain and the grid. Next to it are the floor plan, elevations, details, and site plan. Those are the sheets that become populated with your floor plans, with your elevations, any details, site plans, and you also have the option to create as many of these sheets as you would like. So if we go back to Model View and we right-click and look at Properties, that in Model View your scale is 1/4 of an inch. That you can change if you'd like, but in most cases 1/4 inch is the standard. Directly below Model View is a building, which is called Building Locations, and if I select it, what you'll see is the pre-made 3 locations: foundation, ground, and second floor. And they've been assigned floor levels. The best way to explain floor levels is to add a new one. So if I keep ground floor checked and come down below and select Add Location, and I use a Calculate from Existing Location option rather than calculating from grade, this dialog box appears. Because we're adding new, the program has already calculated what that first floor top of the wall height is, which is occurring up here, and we're adding up from that point. So they've already are giving you this dimension, and then you add if there's a sill plate, structural meaning the floor itself, sheathing meaning your OSB, 1/2 inch, 3/4. What's important to understand is that this calculation, 1 foot 5.5 inches above grade, is calculated from grade. So if you're adding new and you would like to adjust this ground floor height, you must come from the ground to the top of the foundation wall, and then add your sill plate, then add your floor thickness, and then add your subfloor. And that gets you this dimension. From this point up is your bottom plate, your framing construction height, and then your 2 top plates. Once you add new, this calculation will take place based on whichever floor you check. Well, you can see here this is calculated at 9 foot 6 5/8. If you look here, we've got 1 foot 5.5, and you add to that your wall height of 8 foot 1 1/8. That's the 9 foot 6 5/8. The other aspect of this dialog are the framing options. So for each floor, you can define a variety of different span tables, intersection lookup tables, infill framing. If I were to just take this load-bearing span table and double-click it, and double-click it again, you'll see that the calculations for the 2-ply are based on 3, 6, and 10 foot spans. If I were then to click that, we'll get a image of that layout of those headers. And then if I were to click next to it, we get the actual library and the ability to create your own layouts and name them by clicking New. Once you've added something new, in this case, we ended up getting this default while I was showing you how to add a location. If you look next to the building locations, you'll now see that default has been added. So as you develop additional floors, you end up with those items being added automatically.